Oh yeah, it's on!
African American parents shouldn't have to worry that their children will be harassed, humiliated, even shot because of the color of their skin.
I keep hearing that. Hear it from Hillary and Bernie on their commercials. We heard it last night on the debates. We heard it today on MSNBC, talking to black people in South Carolina. One guy said that black people in South Carolina were relentless victims of white racism and white violence all the time, everywhere. That explains everything, especially why cops are always picking on people in South Carolina for no reason whatsoever. Well, that's what I keep hearing. That's the theory. That's the fairy tale. But in my email, I get from you, from cops, from readers, from viewers, from listeners all around the country, is an entirely different story, where black people are not relentless victims. It's a story about how black people are committing crimes 3, 6, 8, 10, 100, 1,000 times more than white people, more than Asian people. Let's look at a few of those stories just from the last day or so. Check the dates on these stories. They're all recent except for one ancient one, which is from February the 8th. Let's take a look at them.
Good morning, Kim. This story is actually making national headlines. I was actually just reading one of the major blogs, and people are in disbelief about the alleged motive behind these murders, and that's hair. As you mentioned, weave, extensions, whatever you want to call it. They are saying bundles of hair are behind these murders, and Shelley Isaac is facing a judge today on some serious counts, 3 counts of first-degree murder. E.J. Tate and his girlfriend, Edwina Thomas, and their unborn child were killed last month, according to family and friends, over Brazilian hair. Victoria C.A. was arrested and charged with accessory after the fact. Police said she acted as a getaway driver after the murders. Now, Tate and his cousin run a business called VirginHairForUs.com. Family and friends feel Isaac and C.A. knew Tate and may have bought hair from him before. We spoke to Tate's father, who believes it was an attempted robbery that went wrong.
They didn't have to do this. If they wanted the hair, I'm pretty sure, he would say, hey, you can have this hair. My life is not worth it.
And how about this story from St. John's University? This black guy was just sitting in I think it was in a lunchroom, takes a picture of a girl, a white woman, and he tweets out, "Give me 7,000 retweets and I'll smash this bitch or punch her in the face." He used the word bitch. He got 19,000 retweets. Later on that day, the girl confronted him. He got physical with her. Then he claimed he was the victim. So many stories out of New York these days. I mean, how many attacks have we seen in the last month on the subway? How many stabbings and slashings? 20, 25. And not more than 9 out of 10 of these have been black people slashing non-black people. Here's another example. This black guy, hit this white guy in the face, beat the hell out of him. He told the guy, and he told people surrounding the guy, white people didn't belong in that neighborhood. It was a black neighborhood. In a second-day story, the guy told the New York Daily News that, he'd been wondering if that was going to happen to him because he lives in Flatbush, and as he walked the street of Flatbush, he would get lots of comments signaling racial hostility, black on white, towards him. That happens a lot in New York. Black people are hostile to the gentrifiers, and they're not ashamed, afraid, embarrassed, or shy about saying it. This is just the latest example. Check the dates. Different day, different story. It's not really a different story. Black guy goes up to a white guy, punches him in the face, and yells, "This is for Malcolm X." Cracker.
Nice for money, didn't nice for anything.
A man left bloodied and bruised after a sudden attack.
I've never known cruelty or anything like that in my life.
The same suspect, police say, continues his violent rampage with a sword. Tonight, 2 survivors after 2 horrifying attacks. Those images are really hard to watch and also just hard to understand.
So what would make a man violently attack 2 different people in 2 different places? Our Local 10 News reporter Derek Shore spoke with one of the victims today. He's live now in Lauderhill.
Well, this is the suspect we're talking about here, 21-year-old Javon Walker, and this is one of his alleged victims. This 81-year-old man left badly bruised after an attack that took place here at this Shell station. That man was just trying to get some gas.
Suddenly, I was struck.
Douglas Brachet's injuries are perhaps just as hard to look at as the video of the attack that caused them. A brutal, unprovoked beating in a gas station has left the 81-year-old with a black and blue face, 18 stitches in his head, and a story you can't make up.
He was aggressive and he came and struck me with a piece of iron or something.
It happened Sunday morning at this Lauderhill Shell station. Brachet with his wife trying to get gas when the suspect, identified by police as 21-year-old Javon Walker, used a piece of metal to beat the unsuspecting customer, his wife trying to fend him off. Officers say not long after Brachet's beating, Walker would show up at the swap shop nearby for yet another terrifying, vicious encounter, this time using a sword to hack away at an employee, again for no reason. The employee was taken to a hospital and will recover. Brachet says he did have a few words with Walker before going inside the station.
What did he tell you outside?
Not very much. He said there's some red in your eye or something.
Then moments later, with no motive, this.
He didn't ask for money, he didn't ask for anything.
Brachet now focusing on getting better and hoping his alleged aggressor does the same.
And so you'll recover?
I know so. And I hope they take care of him.
So you actually have some compassion for him?
Very much.
How about this story from a courtroom in West Palm Beach? Kareem Andre Williams followed and stalked, attacked, and killed an 81-year-old dude in South Florida just to get his Rolex watch.
African American parents shouldn't have to worry that their children will be harassed, humiliated, even shot because of the color of their skin.
Bullets fly on the streets of Detroit, killing a man.
Tonight, the man who desperately tried to save his friend's life is talking to Fox 2's Erica Erickson.
I checked his pulse, it was fine. And then it would go away, and I was like, Bradley, wake up, get up. And I would kind of shake him a little bit.
Holding his friend and next-door neighbor of 20 years, 33-year-old Darren Vitke of Lincoln Park recalls the moment he knew 24-year-old Bradley Fox was slipping away.
After I put the pressure on his chest, he was like, Darren, I'm okay. I said, no, you're not okay. So I called 911.
Just moments before, driving along Witt Street near Ellesmere on Detroit's southwest side, Vitke says around 10 Monday night, Fox asked him to give him a ride to his father's house.
Out of nowhere, a car hit me head on, and I got out of the car, checked the damages, and we were just aimed.
VidK says 2 men jumped out of another car describing bullets flying from different directions hitting his truck. VidK even trying to get out, but
I kept hearing doom, 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 like gunshots. It sounded like a war going off.
Trying to drive away, the truck too mangled to get much farther down the street. VidK says the gunfire wouldn't stop.
I was saying, stay down, stay down. We were both down. I'm driving. Or hit him in the neck right here.
Talking with Fox, trying to keep him awake as the shooters run away. VidK in disbelief, looking down at Fox.
Camera now on a disabled man followed, then ambushed in the parking lot of a South Florida restaurant. And that man says the robber had a very large knife. He wasn't hurt, but he wants the criminal caught. CBS 4's Carrie Codd spoke with the victim tonight. He joins us from Hollywood with more. Carrie.
Rick, that victim is a man in his 60s who's on disability. He tells me as he was leaving this McDonald's here at Oakwood Plaza about 10 days ago, he walked over to his car. What he didn't know was that a man was following him with a knife about a foot long who'd picked that man out as his victim. Surveillance cameras rolled inside this Hollywood McDonald's on January 31st. Shan Loverson was finishing up some work. Hollywood police say this guy in the funky sweater was waiting and watching Loverson's movements. Loverson walked to his car and the thief confronted him.
He said, "Give me your wallet because I'm gonna kill you right now." Why? Why are you gonna kill me? You know, like, no, I have to buy food for my kids.
We are following breaking news this morning. Police now believe the man that you'll see in this surveillance video is responsible possibly for a third attempted abduction.
7 Action News reporter Shelley Childers is live from the Bloomfield Township Police Department with the new developments. Shelley.
Yeah, I just got off the phone with police. They tell me the same man is suspected in 3 separate attempted abductions. They all happened at the Qdoba off of Woodward Avenue and Square Lake. They do have surveillance video that they have just released to us. It's a little bit blurred, but they're hoping somebody may recognize him.
For a ride on the hood of the speeding car this morning. The driver is still on the loose.
Now, police say the driver was trying to get away from police when he hit that man in the crosswalk.
New this morning, a second person arrested in connection to the murder of taxi driver Jose Dominguez. 27-year-old Conrad Patterson of Zebulon is in custody at the Wake County Detention Center. Yesterday, 25-year-old Major Earl Edwards Jr. appeared in court. The Lewisburg resident is also charged in connection with the murder.
This is where police say Andre Roy took the life of 61-year-old Franklin Medina, just outside the Galleria Neiman Marcus. According to investigators, Medina was walking along the sidewalk on Post Oak around 9 last night when Roy tried to rob him. Roy allegedly stabbed Medina multiple times. He died at the hospital.
And no rhyme or reason, according to the investigators who were here immediately after the shots rang out at the Nazareth restaurant. Take a look. You can see right here, this is the face of this restaurant, and inside we actually saw some of the chairs that were actually overturned, even some of the rags and tabletops that appear to be soaked in blood inside. A man was actually inside about an hour before this attack, then returned with a machete, started swinging it, attacking several people inside. We are told that people inside fought back and tried to get that attacker out. Again, this happened around 6 o'clock at the Nazareth restaurant in Delhi here on North Hamilton. Again, that man coming in with a machete, injuring 4 people inside. 2 others then ran out of the building, calling 911, while others started throwing those chairs at the armed suspect. We can tell you 3 people were transported to local hospitals. A 4th drove themselves there, one thought to be in life-threatening condition. That person has since been upgraded to stable condition.